but now we're sort of devolving by putting our children in boxes and
Yeah.
restrictions in, right? So let's free our minds. And yes, I get it that there's a lot of work to do to build this infrastructure, to build these buildings, to build this technology. Yes, it takes a lot of hard work and a lot of laborious work. But now we can actually get freedom back by having machines do that kind of laborious work for us, so that we can go back to being who we are meant to be by God created us, which is to spread positive spirit, to create, to think.
This is everything they never told you about real estate, helping you scale your business, implement AI, and capitalize on the latest tech and lead gen strategies. And now here's your host, the AI queen of real estate, Carrie Soave.
Welcome back, everybody. This is actually the first episode of season 3. Yes, 3 seasons. This is like, what podcast lasts that long these days? But I actually have a really special guest. We've been waiting all summer to do this podcast, Pavan Agarwal. And he is a seasoned investor, entrepreneur, and banker. And what he's done is he's been creating AI solutions for many spaces, but we're going to talk about the real estate space. Pavan, thank you so much for coming on. And we also have his colleague, Lucas Rosenbaum, here. And he's going to walk us through a bit of Angel AI, which is one of your AI solutions. But Pavan, let's first talk about, like, how did you get here? Where did you come from? And like, how did all of this come about? Because you're doing some amazing things.
I'll start with where I came from. I think I came from where everyone else came from. We're just sort of a little bit of stardust, a little bit of divine intervention, and here we are.
Yeah, I love cheese.
So yes, so remember that we're all magical, and nothing is beyond reach. That's our motto. And this is really artificial intelligence. I think, if anything, it reminds us of our capabilities and frees us of our restrictions, so that we can then focus on what human beings were designed to do, and what our future really is, which is to be these creatures of God that are created to inspire and spread creativity and knowledge, and to basically create and imagine.
Oh my God, I love that so much. And this is the first time hearing that perspective. And when people ask me where they think AI is going, in terms of like the workforce, I'm like, easy. There's not going to be many, if any, task-oriented jobs anymore. The people, the thinkers, are going to win in this world. The thought leaders, the idea people. So we're in for a major shift. And I love that you said that this is really what we're meant for. Cause I totally, like, I got goosebumps right now. I totally get that. I absolutely love that.
Yeah, I take it one step further. I think it isn't that there are thinkers and non-thinkers. We're all thinkers, and we have to kind of shed this archaic 19th century industrial revolution based society and education model that's trained us from the time we're children. We're trained to sit in boxes and focus on restrictive activities. I mean, whatever, 10,000, 100,000 years ago, we were free, and we didn't force our children to sit behind a desk and get punished for being children.
Yes.
Right. And we did pretty good. I mean, we've over that kind of evolution and training, right, that our ancestors went through is that DNA is in us, and that's what lets us build all this. But now we're sort of devolving by putting our children in boxes and restrictions in. Right? So let's free our minds. And yes, I get it that there's a lot of work to do to build this infrastructure to build these buildings, to build this technology. Yes, it takes a lot of hard work and it's a lot of laborious work. But now we can actually get freedom back by having machines do that kind of laborious work for us, so that we can go back to being who we are meant to be by God created us, which is to spread positive spirit, to create, to think.
Oh my goodness. I love that so much. You also mentioned that AI reminds us of what we're capable of. And that literally could not be truer for me. I am a female with zero, and I mean zero tech skills. Like, I speak all over the world at conferences. Sometimes I can't even share my computer screen. That's how limited I am. But I've literally made it my entire, personality, AI, and built these companies that are just putting me at the forefront of this. And like, whoever would have known? Like, when you talk about possibility, I was on stage with a man who's now my partner in my AI consulting company. He builds robots for a living. And he was like, how did you get into it? Like, what? And I'm like, I don't know. I just taught myself. And he's like, it's just the possibilities are endless. So that statement couldn't be truer for me personally. Like, AI is bringing out endless possibilities.
Nothing is beyond reach, Carrie. Nothing.
Yeah.
And I know plenty of males who are awful at technology too. So
Right. So tell me, like, what does your day look like right now? Like, how many companies do you have? What are these companies? Tell me a little bit about that.
I have several companies. My attention is really focused on one, which is called Celigence, and it's a Puerto Rico-based enterprise that was formally established in 2013,
Mm-hmm.
and that is the entity that has created Angel AI. And I also own a mortgage company, which has been in the family since 1980. And the mortgage company is built around the technology. So it's a customer. If you were to think of it this way, it's like the tech company calls the shots and the mortgage company does.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It delivers the tech. Its job is it's like the hypodermic needle, but the medicine is the technology. So it's a delivery mechanism. So we're inoculating the global the global financial village from bias and unfair lending practices and unfair banking practices. This is the inoculation that's being delivered.
Okay, so first I want to talk to Lucas a little bit, because we had a conversation previously about Angel AI and its capabilities. So let's tell our audience exactly what it is, exactly what it does, so that they can picture basically how it's going to help their business and how it's going to help their clients.
Yeah, for sure. I think day to day, it's about the mission, right? We're just trying to uplift millions of people with this tech, which is, I think, what you really do every day, right? Like, your goal is, how can we move things forward for people that have ideas, and want to execute. So for us, it's about taking that to everybody. It's about uplifting everybody. So that's really it. When Pavan talks about fair lending, he's talking about expanding, the American dream. I know you're in Canada, but expanding the American dream to everyone, right, in the country and then globally. Yeah. Expanding that financial health and wellness. So it started with this AI underwriter that has basically broken all the rules. It's approving loans at 1.5 to 2 times the rate of a traditional mortgage underwriting system. That's where it started. I think Pavan's idea was to make this something that was accessible to everyone, not just the top 30%, right, of the population. And then once we realized it could do that, we just started programming it with all different kinds of features. So That's
Nice.
where we're at today.
Nice. And is there any plans for this to come outside of the US into Canada maybe?
Absolutely. We are getting invited all over the world by different governments, different organizations that saying, okay, hey, we can really use this in our country.
Yeah.
And especially in the developing world where they are trying to get homeownership
Yeah.
out to their population and not really sure how to go about it. But and because it's AI, because it's chat and it's simple and it speaks basically any language, they can literally, you can go to any country and you can get financing and microfinance. So this doesn't just stop at mortgages; it does all sorts of financial services.
Hmm.
Uh, so you can deliver financial services without having expert advisors
Hmm.
all over the country.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I love
So right. So it's a you chat with it like you chat with your best friend, and it's simple, straightforward conversation,
it. Hmm.
simple, straightforward, everyday language, and it'll respond to you with everyday language. And if you don't understand something it tells you, you just tell Angel AI, hey, explain that, and she'll explain it to you.
That's
And
great.
by the way, Angel AI, she is a woman.
I love it even more now. No, everybody will be glad to hear. I think the majority of our listeners are actually in the US, and I know I have some over in Europe and Middle East as well, which is nice. So everybody will be super happy to hear about that. Okay, I have a question for you. If you were to build out any AI tool that does absolutely anything, like regardless of like the capabilities of AI right now, what would it be?
I'm a little biased because all of everything that I do is financial services, and that's where
Mm,
my so I have a selection bias, right?
yeah,
So
yeah.
I could so I could tell you what we're building out because I have the team and the money and the ability to build anything I want, and that's why I can tell you what I am building.
Okay. Okay, yeah, I want to hear this.
But just recently, we built and released free credit repair and a credit boost for all of America. So you have a dispute with your credit, some merchant, they give you a late or a collection. You go to Angel, say, hey, I have a credit dispute. Can you fix it? And she'll start talking to your merchant on your behalf and will never stop arguing until you tell her to stop arguing, which is great because you have an AI that does the fighting for you. She puts on her boxing gloves and goes at it and attacks.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
And we've had lots and lots of people have used it and seen the credit score boost. And speaking of fighting, one of the customers is actually 7 times world champion Sugar Shane Mosley. So I was he needed somebody to fight for him. Like the guy's made, I don't know, 200 maybe more $1 million in his lifetime. So he doesn't care about credit. He pays cash for everything.
Yeah.
And there's actually merchants out there that have the gall to take on a world champion boxer and mess with credit. That
Oh my
takes a lot of
goodness.
courage, right? You get
Oh,
the butts kicked. So now those merchants got their butts kicked because Shane. So I was flying back from Dallas to Puerto Rico with him, and we're sitting next to each other. I explained to him how the credit repair in Angel works. He said, "Oh, that's really interesting." And then, like, it worked. He went in and did it on himself, and his credit score went up 125 points or
oh
something.
my goodness. Oh wow, that's a really, really cool feature. I really like that feature. How else can Angel AI help? Um,
Well, yes, yeah. Well, obviously for mortgages, and that's huge. It's already done.
mhm.
And the bottom line, and Luke alluded to that earlier. What the bottom line was that for the Black community, we've seen it like basically for every two Black borrowers that are declined by a traditional bank or a lender, one of them should have been approved. So when they go through Angel, one of them that one gets approved. Where they get, so you imagine how many people have been denied a home for
Wow.
years and years and years. Massive. It's massive. In fact, we talked earlier about AI freeing us, but AI not only does it free us, but it's also gives us a mirror. We can actually, it's a mirror so we can look at ourselves. Okay, so the way AI works, right? Because when you train it based on past data, past patterns.
Yeah.
So and then when you ask it a question, it's just saying like for example, if I say see Jack, fill in next word. What do you think is the next word?
Yeah, see Jack run or something like that.
See Jack run, right? So like, it's the pattern, right?
Mhm.
You can say see Jack walk, see Jack shout, whatever, right?
Yeah.
But most likely see Jack run, right?
Yeah.
And that's all that AI is doing, is looking at past patterns and filling in the blanks. So there was a paper that came out about 2 weeks ago from Lay University, a researcher at Lay University about 2 weeks ago released a really groundbreaking paper. And he 1,000 sample scenarios through ChatGPT and asking it whether it would approve or decline that mortgage transaction. Okay. And remember, since ChatGPT is trained on all of the data,
Mm-hmm.
right? Just public data, like it's trained on our history. It's trained on who, as a society, as a race of people, right? Trained on what we've done in the past. What he found was that if ChatGPT knew your race, right? So it found that if you were black, if it knew that you were black, it was twice as likely to decline you. And I saw that paper. I was like, wow, he just confirmed the same data that we've been seeing for the last several years.
Yeah. So how do we move to the next step where AI is more innovative thinking? How do we get there faster?
Remember, AI is not innovation, right? It's not creative. AI doesn't know how to reason. It can trick us to think it's reasoning, but it doesn't know how to reason.
Yeah.
Just think of it a massive database of every pattern, everything that humanity's ever done.
So
right?
what are you doing exactly? Are you training your own LLM on your own data sets in order to be able to shift that? Is that what's happening here?
That's a great question. Love that question. So first of all, for the audience, I don't know how well trained they are on AI, so we'll just say LLM means large language model. That's what it stands for. And so the systems that most of people in this audience who probably systems that you've probably already used, like ChatGPT or Elon Musk's new system or Google's BERT, or Claude. That now Amazon owns 40% of Claude.
Really?
They're all based on technology called large language model, right? And the way you could think of it, the reason it's called large language model, because it's like, it shouldn't be called large, it should be called like enormous language models.
Yeah.
Because they've literally have ran out of data. They've taken all the data available on the internet. And loaded it into these models and created a vast neural net of all that data. That means they have looked at everything that humanity's ever written and that is publicly available, and loaded it into his database and identified patterns in it and made this massive database of all the different patterns, all the different combinations. So that when you ask ChatGPT a question or any of the other LLMs, you ask it a question, or you say something, it'll fill in the blank. Like I said earlier, see Jack run, right? It'll fill in that blank based on the most probable pattern. So it seems creative to you and I, because our minds don't have every piece of word and text that was ever written. We don't have all that in our heads, right? ChatGPT or one of the other systems, it does actually have all that information. So what may look like original thought for you and I is actually just went and found the closest pattern and continued on to it, right? And sometimes and then here's the part that really makes it feel very original, and where it can have breakthroughs, where the AI can have breakthroughs, because it's finding the closest pattern or similar patterns, not necessarily finding the exact pattern. And then so you take a similar pattern and apply that pattern to your line of thought, right? And you're gonna get basically a new output that never existed before, right? Because no one's ever taken this similar pattern, not the exact pattern, but something close to what you're thinking about, right? No one's ever taken, it's a new combination that no one's ever tried. Here's a pattern, and here's a new thought, right? The original thought comes from a human being. Human beings can create original thought. So here's an original thought, and here's a pattern that, and then combining the two, right, creates a new compound. Just like it's like if you have water and you have salt, and if no one's ever mixed the two, you put it together. Now you have salt water. It's a new substance altogether, and with the new set of properties, right? Yeah. So that's an invention. If there's no one's ever seen salt water, and you take salt and you put it in water, now you have something new. Yeah. So that's why AI feels like it's inventing new stuff, because it's taking the new stuff is really from the human being that's using it. You give it the new stuff, and it takes something that already exists, combines the two, right? Now you have something completely brand new. Yeah. And that's how.
And as we talk to it too, and as we're training it on how we want responses, so then it'll get a little bit more innovative. It's not. It's just
right. So every time you talk to it, it collects that information, and it's now it's got new data to store. Yeah, right? And it's got new patterns, and so it's constantly learning. But that's a long way to say that's how large language models work. Angel AI, however, its core is not a large language model. Okay, so it's a very different technology. So sorry, I apologize. So Angel AI is what we call, it's a neural cell technology. It's novel, not terribly novel. MIT put a paper out on this, I think in 2016, MIT had a paper. They had a conference about artificial intelligence and robotics being modeled around biological systems. Mm-hmm. I forgot the name. It was actually not a paper; it's a conference, and one of the things that it covered was the idea. There was the idea of creating artificial neural cells. So they in parallel, while our researchers were developing this tech, in parallel, our MIT researchers are doing their thing, and then we actually discovered their paper years after we came out with the first version of Angel AI, and we're like, hey, that's pretty cool. They were looking at the same things that we're doing. So it's very similar to what we did. But again, there's only so many ways you can skin a cat, right? So it's not surprising somebody else is thinking along the same lines. I mean, the whole concept of neural nets itself was inspired by biology. It's a first order approximation, it's a linear approximation of a neuron, right? A neuron can be represented as like a 100-order differential equation. One layer of a neural net is it's a single order equation. Mm-hmm. Right? So the idea is that if you have a stack, a million layers, then you start approximating a high order equation. So that's
okay. That's interesting. So obviously there's predictions on new capabilities for AI. I'm super excited for some of them. One in particular, because of my limited, I can't code, I can't create actions in GPTs. Just so you know, I've created all kinds of custom GPTs for every single area of a real estate agent's business. That's my pet project. I set the parameters super tight so that the same output that I get, a 5-year-old could get. There's no error. There's no room for error. That's how tight these are. But I am limited because I can't code and I can't build out actions. So I have to bring in a computer engineer or somebody that can build out the Chat GPT is going to be, so you know how they have the GPT builder, they're going to have an action builder. Have you heard this?
There's a lot of different builders coming out, but Carrie, I want you to do me a favor. I want you to do me a big favor. Okay. I want you to eliminate the following words from your vocabulary.
Okay.
Number one, I can't.
Okay.
Number 2, I'm limited because nothing is beyond reach, Carrie. You are limitless and you can.
Oh my goodness. I need some more time with you. I love your energy. I really do.
Right?
So
So it's not that you can't, is you choose to
I
hire an
haven't,
expert
I
to do
haven't
these.
yet. I haven't
Okay.
yet.
Right. Right. Or perhaps it's your highest and the best use of your time is to hire an expert as opposed to
Leverage.
investing in learning to do it or investing in doing it yourself. You only have so much time in your life and in your day. These are choices that you have to make.
Yeah, and I preach that AI is the ultimate leverage, right? That's what I tell people. This is
Yeah.
affordable leverage to everybody, you know?
And
Um,
yeah, I would correct you there. AI is a leverage, but the ultimate leverage is our spirit.
see, I need more time with Pavan. I need Pavan in my life. No, this is so good. So what are for you guys, what are some of the capabilities and the next steps that you're excited about in AI?
Yeah, so I'm really excited. Like, there's a lot of great stuff that's coming out this
Mhm.
year. So number one is payday loans. When I actually, I've known about payday loans for a while, but then very recently it was suggested to me, like, why don't we have Angel AI do payday loans, because it's ridiculous. I mean, payday lenders, and I'm not saying that they're bad people. It's just because of the economics, right? For people of very modest means that need payday loans, they end up losing about 1/3 or so of their paycheck
Mhm.
to the payday lender,
Mhm.
right? And this is it's a big industry, it's a big business. And if I automate that with AI, and it's something pretty straightforward for Angel AI to learn to do, if I automate that with AI, I can like give these people their lives back, their financial lives back,
Yeah.
right? The cost would be very, very low with Angel AI relative to a payday lender. So that's something that we're working on right now. We're super excited about. We also have we're working on offering insurance, homeowners, life, auto insurance through Angel AI, so that you don't have to talk to a pushy insurance salesman. You talk to Angel. She's going to talk to you like in your best interest, and tell you what she has available that best meets your needs,
Yeah.
right? No high pressure, right? And that's the same way she does. If you talk to her about your mortgage, you tell her your situation, and she's gonna it's a computer. She's not
Yeah.
You don't have to worry about her trying to maximize her commission. She's not trained to maximize her commission. Put it that way.
Yeah. I really
She's trained to find the best option in her database for you,
yeah.
right?
No.
Okay, so and it's a very comfortable conversation. There's no high pressure. It's just straight up. You can ask her anything, and you're getting the right answer, right? Because you're getting the right answer because number one, the way she's trained,
Mhm.
and you have to look at ultimately it's about the values and the ethics of the people who build the AI, right?
Yes.
Right, and the reason we built the AI, right? So the reason we built Angel was, and you asked me in the beginning of this conversation is what's my background, what's my story. So my family's a first generation immigrant family, and we were lucky enough. My parents were lucky enough to get into real estate right off the bat, and lucky enough to have the right mentors to teach them, and they learn. And we built our business empire around real estate and then mortgage finance,
Mhm.
right? And it takes a lot of study and learning and research. So what we did was take all that, take our knowledge, put in the AI. So now everything that took us so long to learn, and we did it the hard way,
Mhm.
it's now available for all Americans by simply asking Angel.
I love that.
Just go to askangel.ai and you can talk to her about finance, about real estate. And if she knows the answer, she'll tell you. And then the best thing, right? She doesn't have an ego. Here's the biggest problem when you deal with a financial analyst
Mhm.
or your personal banker. They have egos. So if you ask them a question they don't know, they may give you, they should say, I don't know that answer. But they'll like, fluff up and give you an answer that makes them look smart, sound smart,
Mhm.
instead of saying, I don't know. So Angel doesn't have an ego. She's a computer, right? So she doesn't know. She says, I don't know.
Yeah. No,
right?
I really like that story. I think this is important. This is really important.
You never have to second guess the AI, right? We've trained, like, there's something in large language models called AI hallucination,
Yeah.
like, because they're trained to remember,
Yeah.
they're not trained to be exact and right. They're trained to give you a response.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, they're trained to find patterns and give you a response, and that's why they're creative, right? And as a result, they're not necessarily going to give you an exact answer, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's not why they were created,
Yeah.
right? Angel was created to give an exact answer, and it's so spot on that I put my money where Angel's mouth is.
Yeah. So how could real estate agents leverage Angel AI in their business? Lucas is like, I feel like Lucas talks to all of us.
This
You
is what
know,
we do all day. Yes, that's right. Absolutely.
I'm going to let Lucas answer that question because Lucas deals with has done this so many times and helped so many realtors,
Yeah.
and he's in the trenches. So I'm going to let you answer that one.
Yeah, it's so cool when we see them wearing our brand and our hats when they're putting their signs out or posting that they just got a listing appointment because of Angel and with their client right there in the back of the picture. It's really fun to see that. They're so excited to use the tech, you know. It's like the systems you're building, Carrie, in that we are trying to help them automate their business, right? Like for instance, for me, I'm traveling all the time, so I have to automate, right? Pavan as well. He's a very busy guy. So if we don't have all these things running in the background, it would be very difficult for
Mm-hmm.
us to move the ball forward constantly 24/7. So that's what Angel does for real estate agents and mortgage professionals as well. And so my team is in charge of the rollout and mentoring these real estate brokers, agents, and mortgage professionals across the country. And we do that with, like, Angel can create a website for you, a listing website for you in just a few minutes. You don't have to be a computer programmer, a landing page for you in just a few minutes, just through the chat. And all these are hosted free by Angel AI. It's a massive benefit. We also have call campaigns. We have a very large call center here in the United States. They're professionally trained. They speak Spanish and English. And you just jump in the chat. It's completely white label with your script and with your voicemail. And then our call center, our angelistas, we call them, go to work. So we've got tons of agents getting listing appointments,
Mm-hmm.
doing events. You know, really, it's crazy. This little banking app connects people like nothing you've ever seen. That's the real magic of it to me.
Yeah.
But yeah, while I'm in my meetings all day and educating people and helping them close deals, Angel's in the background creating websites for them, calling on leads and contacts for them, delivering business,
Mm-hmm.
repairing people's credit. We're launching free tax prep in early 2025. So
Ooh.
really, again, we're just trying to uplift as many people as humanly possible every day. So it's so fun just to come to work and get to help, as you know, hundreds and thousands of people constantly. You're just energized to come to work every day, knowing that you're going to help more people do more in their life because they have that limiting mindset that, oh, well, I tried to buy a house a couple years ago, it didn't work out. You know, I had a credit issue or this or that or the other. The underwriter didn't see things my way. And so they just give up, right? So we're educating our currently financial professionals and real estate professionals to go out there and let their communities that they serve know that, look, that's not true. You
Yeah.
know, that's not the case. We can do this. We can do this together. So, I mean, it's a big goal, but we truly feel we can usher in a new era of economic prosperity.
Well,
By
you're on
using
your
it.
way there. I think it's wonderful what you guys are doing. And if any agents that are listening want to sign up and, get Angel on their side, their little angel, then I'm going to be sharing a link to that. But Lucas, what's the quickest way for them to?
So they can definitely call me anytime. My phone number, I can give it to you, Carrie, so you can post that as
Okay.
well. They can call me. Well, we have workshops. The crazy thing about what we're doing is we provide such a high level of support. It's really kind of unheard of in our industry because we have teams that actually mentor on the tech. We have workshops every day at your, whenever is convenient for you. There's training right there in the chat. Like you can go and ask Angel, I want training, or click on the workshop registration. So there's a lot of different ways there that they can connect either directly on the Angel AI chat or with one of our team members.
Perfect.
But yeah, I'll give you that information so that your listeners can connect with us and we can show them this amazing tool.
And I will be trying out the system. Me and Lucas are going to do a call after. I'm going to be using it, trying it out, and I'm going to create a YouTube video breakdown of it. So that's what we're going to do, Lucas. So Pavan, it was so nice to finally meet you. And you are such a unique soul. I'm blessed to have met you. And Lucas, you are always so helpful. Both of your energy just inspires me. So I really, really appreciate you coming on this podcast and sharing all of this with everybody.
It's great to have us here. By the way, I have a special invitation for you, Carrie.
Okay.
So on November 9th, my family hosts every year a Diwali party. Yeah, so here in Puerto Rico and Dorado. So it's quite an event.
Oh my goodness.
A lot of very, very interesting people. Everybody interesting on the island usually comes to this party. So if you're able to, please come to, and you'll get a formal invitation link soon, as soon as the invitations are ready. Mark your calendar for November 9th.
Okay, and we're going to connect as well, Pavan. So thank you so much, guys.
Thank you, Carrie.
Thank you so much, Carrie, for everything you're doing. Love it.